Hey everyone, Truett Smith here with Smoking Pipes, and today we're going to be talking about the end of a pipe bowl. Specifically, how do you know when the pipe is done, when you've smoked through the majority of the tobacco that's in your pipe chamber? For beginners especially, it can be difficult to know because the bowl is not see-through. It's difficult to know how far down you've smoked through the tobacco. And it can actually be damaging to your pipe to try to smoke all of the tobacco in the chamber. Typically, when I'm smoking, I kind of gauge it based on how far the ash is as I tamp down, and also a combination of how often am I having to relight, how soon is the tobacco going out. So I've been smoking this pipe for a little bit now, and the ash is about halfway at the bowl. I'm not going to smoke all of it right now for the purposes of this video, but at this point I'm starting to pay a little more attention to how the tobacco is burning, how often it's going out, even with a steady cadence, etc. And once I get to the point that it's not staying lit for very long, I'm pretty confident then that there's no tobacco really left to be burned. So at that point, you're going to take your tamper, or your dottle pick rather, if you have one, and I'm just going to scrape out, loosen up the ash and the unburnt tobacco that's in the chamber. Now, if you notice that there's unburnt tobacco, that's okay. Don't then tamp it back down and relight it thinking that there's more to finish. That's what's called dottle. And dottle is the bottom of the tobacco chamber, the tobacco at the bottom of the chamber that isn't really combustible. It's usually got some moisture in it, and to try to light that is probably going to damage your pipe because of the amount of heat you're going to have to introduce to it to get it lit. So all that to say, if you notice some unburnt tobacco while you're doing this, don't worry, it's all part of the process. So I've got it loosened up, and then I'm just gonna dump it out in the ashtray. If you have a cork knocker on it, that can be helpful. Get that pick going and scrape it all out. Sometimes I'll give it another hit in my hand, do a blow through, notice some ash coming out of there. A couple more hits, and I'm just looking through to see if there's anything left in there. So now I've got an empty pipe. It's time to think about maintenance, taking care of it, treating your pipe in a way that's going to make it last as long as possible, and hopefully longer than you. A lot of people have different methods. My personal method is pretty simple and straightforward. After every bowl I smoke, I take a pipe cleaner, I run it through the stem, run it through the airway, give it a couple of that, take it out, and then I'm folding it in half like so, and I'm just rubbing the inside of the chamber, sort of wiping it down, cleaning it out. As the tobacco burns over the course of many bowls, it's going to develop a layer of cake on the inside, which is just a natural carbon buildup on the inside walls of the chamber. I don't want to get rid of that unless it gets too deep and too thick. Then I'm going to ream it out, but we'll save that for a different video. All that to say, I'm not taking a knife or a dottle pick and really scraping that away. I'm just cleaning out the chamber with a pipe cleaner. After I do that, then give it one more knock, any other loose ash. And the last step is something I actually learned from Chuck Stanion. He wrote a blog post about it if you want to look at it on our daily reader. And that is the simple addition of a little bit of saliva to clean the rim and clean the mouthpiece. So I just basically lick my thumb and I'm rubbing the rim. It helps get rid of some of the darkening that happens at the initial light or relight while you're smoking. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the stem, especially vulcanite stems. They can get a little grody. Obviously they oxidize over time, and for that we'd recommend some obsidian oil. But a little saliva right after you smoke is certainly helpful, and especially if you're doing it every single time, that's gonna minimize the amount of overall maintenance you have to do throughout the lifetime of your pipe. So pretty quick and easy steps for the end of your pipe smoking session. Let us know in the comments what you personally do in your pipe maintenance routine at the end of a smoke. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and be sure to check out our other videos for other helpful hints. See you next time.